cultural perspective on this story. And I just want to start first with you guys. For those of you who read it, did you find it confusing or hard because of the time period, because it was historical fiction? Did anyone struggle with that? Or it was no problem? Hmm? No problem? Yeah, what'd you think, Maya? It was awesome. All right, tell us.
Harsh but awesome.
Why did you think it was awesome?
Because I never really knew, like my mom gave me, but I never really knew about it.
Yeah.
And it was so, like, detailed. It explained every little thing, the way the water comes, and then like every single detail that, like, I suddenly knew all about it.
Yeah.
In a few chapters, that it was awesome.
Well, and this book did win a Newbery honor because of the way it was written, because it used a lot of, yeah, it was very detailed, used a lot of like figures of speech, and it's beautifully written. Yeah. All right, who else? I know, Joe, what did you think about this book?
I mean, it gave a lot about the culture of these Pakistani people, but in my opinion, it was my favorite book.
Okay.
Honestly, it definitely was well written.
All right, it was well written. What didn't you like about it?
It just kind of seemed longer than it needed to be.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
Because of the way it was written.
Okay, that's fair. Miller?
It was one of my favorite books that I've ever read. It was very tragic, but also very happy at the same time.
Yeah.
I no one in my family is Indian, so I knew like nothing about it until I read this book. And this book was amazing.
Yeah, and it wasn't, did you guys find it too sad? There were some sad parts, or you liked that it was sad because it made it more realistic almost, I don't know, brought you, drew you in more?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lucy.
I really liked it. Some parts I could kind of feel it that I was
Yes, yes. Why do you think you felt connected to Nisha?
because things were so everyone can relate.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, I think, did you guys notice it was like written, one of you talked to me about this outside of the club and said I think it was you, that it was written in a diary, like in letters, and you had a hard time with that at first, but I think it kind of brought us into Nisha's story, didn't it?
Yeah.
And it was written what they call the first person, which is Nisha like telling her experiences pre.
For me, it was kind of like too sad,
Mhm.
but then also the way it was sad, it kind of like put the book in a different perspective.
Okay.
Because like it's different than like any realistic fiction book,
Mhm.
because the part that it's sad, it makes it like different from any other.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. And it was really sad. There's no question about that. There were some sad parts for sure. Yeah.
I kind of like that. I could relate a bunch of the characters to people I know.
Okay. All right. So even though it was set in a different country, in a different time, it was still very relatable, right? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Just out of curiosity, I'm wondering why the author said it in that time period.
Well, why do you think? Well, it was set in that time period because she was talking about these events, and these events were the events of her family. I actually watched an interview with this author, and she's American, whose parents are from India, and this was a background of her childhood. Her grandparents used to talk about these events, and she didn't know anything about it, and finally she learned more, and it was based on her family's history. So I thought it had to be kind of, that was the story, you know, it's like you couldn't have a World War II book that was set presently, you know.
No, you couldn't have World War II in
Right.
2019, 2019, one of them.
Right, and I think when it was her family's story, and then she realized that so many people were displaced meaning they had to leave their homes and go somewhere else, after independence. that she thought it was interesting because there's no children's books that I know of written on this topic. You know, does anyone know of a book for an American audience written on this topic? I don't. So this was the first I saw. So she knew that there was a place for this book because it hasn't been done yet, and she had the family connections. But now I would like to get some perspectives from some of you folks. You know, we do have grandmothers, so I don't want to pick on you, but you would maybe know the most.
Let them start then.
Okay. Now, all of you folks, were you raised in either India or Pakistan?
Yes.
And did you study this in school? Was this part of your school curriculum? Like we study American history, you had Indian history.
Indian history,
Yes.
yes.
And-
Sort of. Not exactly, but yes.
Okay, now why was it, how was it different?
I mean, it was different, a little bit different, because whatever we have read in the history book, in the curriculum, it was not that detailed.
Okay.
We just learned some key points for that event. I will not say just the event, it was, I think it's a major disaster. But then there are so many stories that we have heard through someone else's grandparents, and there's so many documentaries and movies, and of course some very well-written books on the, you know, on this topic that we have read so far.
Yeah.
That's how we know a few
Okay.
things about. None of us survived on
I
that
know,
topic.
yeah, I know. So people ask me where I was when Kennedy was shot. I'm like, how old do you think I am?
Like our histories, when we started, it was more based on our independence, how we got our
Yes.
independence from the British Empire, and how the kings fought, or how the great leaders fought
Yes.
for the independence. That was the main things what we went through for our
Yes.
studies.
Yes.
And the partition was very smaller portion which was
For
covered.
the curriculum.
Not, yeah, the curriculum. Yes.
Well, and that's like here, we learn about the Revolutionary War, and we learn about it, and we learn about it, and we learn about it.
Yes.
Who here knows about the War of 1812? You know, very little though, right?
No, I actually studied the War of 1812.
Who was president then?
Mr. B made us study it.
Who's the president? Anyone know? He
He
probably knows! Oh my gosh, you're so smart, Carlos. I gotta admit, I'm drawing a blank.
Like James Monroe.
Yeah.
It might have been James Monroe. At any rate, though, we don't know so much what happened after the Revolutionary War, right? And then we skip from the Revolutionary War to the Civil War.
Yeah. And they only give you most books written from American point of view only give you how the Americans fought. It doesn't give you the British side of what happened.
Right.
It only, which is it's not an author's focus to give you both sides. They just give the winning side. They don't give.
Sure. Well, that's what they say, whoever wins the war writes the history.
Yeah, but it should have been that they should have done it on both sides to where we would have learned more about the British troops and who they were.
Well, if you go to Britain, they probably have the British side of the story.
That's probably true,
They
Adina, you're
probably
right.
only teach you the British side and say that we're like the bad people, and we learn the opposite.
Yeah. And I wonder how much they even study about this, if you were, raised in England. Yeah, Wolfie?
Okay, I have an argument to make.
Go ahead.
So I don't know why in a lot of books, like if it's a book about a war, it might be a made-up war, like all the way in the future, or it might be like it might be like a historical fiction book about real war that happened. But they always make it seem like even if it's involving the Americans, they always make it seem like the Americans are the good guys. On the other side, on the other country, it's actually that the Americans are the bad guys. And maybe that, and then you kind of just feel like since during war there is no side that's good. Each side is just fighting.
Oh my gosh, can we just take what she said? And tell all the leaders of the world, thank you, Wolfie, that's true. Is there really a winner in war? Is there really a winner in war?
No, there's
Yes.
just a count, honestly.
And was Gandhi happy about any of this?
No.
No.
Gandhi didn't want the country to be separated, but
Right.
it happened because both sides, all the other people wanted it.
And what do you know about it? Do you know?
I'm from South India, so see that's the thing, right? If you the closer you are to the
Which place?
Hyderabad.
Same place.
What? It's a small world.
When he said Gandhi fought without violence, he never even raised his hand also. Without violence, he fought the independence for it. That is the great thing for us. He never did anything. He never begged him like this. Nothing. He never even raised his hand. That is the great thing of it.
And
It's
this,
still, even now, right, the separation, the split of the country is still felt even now, even to this day, people, they still have family in the other part of the country, in another country, and it's not, it's not good for anyone.
But still, it's a political wise only. Like we Pakistan both are friends only. If we meet any Pakistani people, are the nice one. Political wise only, they're respecting everything. That's all.
well, it's
But we all
leaders,
are here.
it's
Yeah,
the
the leaders,
leaders,
that's all. That's all.
it's all power and, right.
I'm not sure about this, but does it depend on your rank in those countries, or how does it depend on? How does that?
You guys stop throwing those bottles. Are you talking about like the caste system?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a separate issue than what this was, yeah, but that, it is different rankings as far as what you were born into, right? And it's harder, like here, maybe Lucy's parents are, your mother works for a magazine. Maybe Lucy decides she's going to be a doctor, she can do, as long as she studies hard, she can do whatever she wants, right?
Whereas,
And I can't really say, again, you can ask these folks, if you're limited, are you limited to living on so much anymore?
Sorry? The
you
division, okay.
choice.
Okay, all right. So it was, very long ago, that system, exists in the ancient India, and there were so many reasons behind it. As history knows, India's population was always more than other countries. When you have a lot of people, right, everyone cannot do all the jobs. Even over here, based on the hierarchy, based on the ranking, government, people, organization, they decide which one do what kind of job, right? So that was the same system over there. So not everyone was able to study because it was really old time, it was ancient India. There are few people they studied. So whoever studied, they put them in one category. So those people were chosen to guide the other ones. Okay. Then there were some people who were really good in business. They know how to do business and how to boost the economy. So those people were chosen for one separate group so that they can raise and take the entire country ahead. Then there were few other people, they were really good warriors. They knew how to fight, how to save the country. So those people were kept in one group. Then there was another group which was needed to do other kind of jobs like cleaning and the cooking and that kind of jobs. So that's how the hierarchy built in ancient India. But later on, people utilized it for their own good and they destroyed this system. And that gives the reason for the submission and everything. So it took a really ugly face, but actually when you see the reason behind it, I think it was not that bad. Okay?
Thank you.
Because now it's very different in India. It's not what you see and what you read.
Yes, it has
Yeah.
changed. There is more of an equality.
Yes.
People are treated very nicely, of each and from every levels.
Have you been there since you moved away?
Yes.
So you have seen so many people over here. We all belongs to different part of India, and I believe we all belongs from different group of the caste as well. But I don't see any disparity between us. We can choose, or everyone can choose whatever they want to study, whatever they want to do.
And do you guys think we all speak same language because we are from India? Yeah.
No,
different.
no.
Because there are 22
Yeah.
languages in India.
I think more than.
More than.
Yes.
Yes, dear.
more than.
No, that is.
No, we
Yeah.
speak a lot of languages.
Yeah.
Okay, if we are talking about Indian culture, it's very rich because they have so many languages and each language is very rich. I think all of you know about Hindi because Hindi is more adaptive language out of the India, right? It is a very rich language. But other languages are very rich too. So the cultural heritage of India is really rich. It's really strong.
I was like when I was reading the book, I was wondering because it seems like everyone's parents were like Hindu or Muslim, but if their mother wasn't alive because their father was Hindu and their mother was Muslim, would they have had to leave their mother because they're half Muslim and they're half Hindu?
Well, that's Maya's saying this because the character in the book has a Muslim mother and a Hindu father, and the mother died in childbirth, and so they had to leave what became Pakistan to go to India. But what she's wondering is, what do you think would happen? I don't know. What do you think? If the mother was alive, what would they have done at that time?
I mean, it depends. In few
In many
areas,
times, the people took choices that
Yes.
what we want to go. We want to go to Pakistan or we want to be in
And we
India.
didn't absolutely
Because like
have
people
to,
took
right?
no.
Still in
they
India,
never forced
I
them.
think there are more Muslims than in Pakistan, and there are like lot of
Muslim than
Yeah.
Pakistan
Yes.
compared
And I know there's a significant Muslim population, right, in India.
Yes.
Yeah.
so many Muslims. Even if you take that Hyderabad where we are living, there are so many Muslims. It's a Muslim country, Muslim city. So many Muslims are there.
Right, so I didn't think, it wasn't by law. It wasn't like when with the Americans who
So
said,
the
it was
story,
not
the
by the
reason
law,
for
it was-
partition was
Right.
based on religion.
yes.
It was for the sake of that during like for hundreds of years, the whole South Asia was ruled by Muslims, and they were very fair and just in their rulings and everything. It wasn't like there was any problems going on just because it was a Muslim ruler or anything. The way that we hear and see nowadays, it's not like, it wasn't like that. And for hundreds of years it was, I think more than 700 years, it was ruled by the Muslims. And then the British came in and they colonized. And then they started all of that political,
more of political.
just trying to, it's a human nature when there are